Interesting to see Cosmic Sapphires in the first map here. It's a map that tends to get banned out, actually. Oh, no. Byun, opening with a 2 racks, and Solar may scout this, actually. Where's his Overlord going? Is it in? Yeah, he's just going to scout it. Solar, Byun sometimes does this in finals where he goes and he gets it in his head that he's going to proxy 2 racks time and time and time again. The most egregious version of this, of course, was when Byun played Dark, and I think 128. And he 2 racks 3 times in a row. Dark shut it down hard 3 times in a row, and it was a 12-minute best of 5 grand finals. Hopefully we don't get that. Now Solar, he's pulling the drones, and it should be in time to at least shut down the second barracks. The first one will complete. Actually, a good RNG there, a good micro there from Solar. He's gonna get the second barracks up from Byun, excuse me. So Marines are gonna pop out, but of course we really shouldn't see a bunker. Good zoning on the drone. They're actually trying to find the Marines as they pop out. But look at what he does here. That one SCV will fall. Marine trying to find value, but doesn't. So he pops Marines out on the backside of this. There's a nice spot for them to serve as really kind of a pseudo bunker, and then he just lifts the barracks. This is okay, but now we're gonna run forward. But this was a pull first from Solar. Not only did he pull drones, not only was he very safe there, he's got lings on the way. This is not going to accomplish much of anything. 8 lings on the way, 2 queens as well. This is not going to work. This is an unfortunate... I'm not going to say this is a game over for Byun necessarily, but it is a rather unfortunate situation that he finds himself in game number 1. Drones are going to get pulled. They're just going to aggro on top of the SCV, making sure the bunker does not complete. Although, Miss Micro, Solar wants to make sure that he actually gets that one, and he will. So bunker is now down. Marines, they micro backwards off creep, but he just built a couple more lings. And this Queen's pop, well, there's nothing for these Marines to hide, so they're really not going to find what they're looking for. Hello? Is it me that you're looking for? Something. But very clearly, I'm a StarCraft caster. I'm not Adele. I don't have those beautiful tones. Byun continuing to build Marines out of this, though. Normally, when you see a Terran going for this, they kind of give up. Right? When it's clear it's not going to work, they don't build more. But Byun has started to do this just a little bit more recently, where he says, yeah, I'm actually going to move in. I'm actually going to do something, and maybe I'm going to catch you off guard. One queen getting rather low, but transfuses are there. A couple lings will fall, but that's fine. Again, Byun, by building more Marines, he's just setting himself up in a sadder and sadder spot. These the barracks, they got to flip back. If it wants to develop any tech, we're going to see one queen go low. Lings run forward, but the wings are the chaff. The queen is the wheat. You want to remove the chaff and expose just how powerful the wheat is now. Solar's trying to take his 3rd base. And I don't know if he's going to get away with that one. But not with the creep spread as it is. The queen is the... Be careful. Walking off creep's a little scary, but Solar actually just pulls the drones on the right side. Actually, with the target fire here, the queen's off creep. There is no transfuse, so one queen will fall. He's trying to get on top of this. Speed is not yet done. Byun actually really taking the best possible trade he can, but Bling is now getting surrounded more and more and more. The drone dives in once again, says, I want this base, and he's going to get it. So in the face of unrelenting Terran Dominion domination, something, I don't know. The 3rd base goes up. Not on time, necessarily. But the context of this game is it's more than fine. Link speed is done. Hellions are now on the map, but not in significant force to really cause too much consternation for Byun. Where do we go from here? Byun undoubtedly behind. I mean, look at the resource lost, and it's somewhat equal, but again, this was a 2 racks that didn't kill any workers. That is really how we have to do the calculus of it. Hellions, though, looking to dive into the natural. Lings actually killing the hatch a little bit, but we will see one Hellion get targeted. No, good job there. Beyond targeting, find the leading Lings, so the Hellions stay alive a little longer, but yeah, no. This Hellion will not get much of anything done. Beyond trying, he's trying, but it will not work out. And now Solar pretty comfortably on 3 bases, able to inject on 3 bases and produce drones off 3 bases. So his economy is going to go rip roaring ahead, and I like the safety bailing nest before any other tech, before lair, before evo chambers, before he even gets additional gas. He says, no, I need this evo chamber. I need to make sure, I need this bailing nest. I need to make sure that some sort of weird Byun 2-on-1 off of this, because Byun did not sacrifice a barracks for this. You know, he's just got he brought them both back home, which does mean that Byun can build and do a 2-on-1. He says, I just want to make sure I'm safe. If I don't take any damage, I'm going to be fine. And I think that's the right call. So Vikings are going to show up and transfuse the Overlord. No, it's going to go down. Supply block here from Solar is going to be... you never want to see it. And actually, his Overlords are... Well, he's going to find himself supply blocked once again. Doesn't quite react to losing that in time. What is this queen doing? I mean, I understand the Cosmic Sapphire is a beautiful map, and we got sand all over the place, and it's a nice time, but I don't really know what that was going for in the main base. Byun trying to really flex his multitasking prowess, his chops, as it were. Maybe not his chopsticks. 5 workers will go down. Hellions in the mineral line. Target a couple more. 7 workers fall. Byun starting to find some value. But with the Spore here and the Queen, that should be the... Actually, look, 10 workers just died. Byun clawing his way back in this game. I mean, it's still not the best spot for him, but he knows now that Solar's going to have to go commit. He's going to build a lot of drones because he just lost a lot, which means this 2 racks at a weird timing may not be something that Solar is expecting. May not have enough units for it. It's only 15 lings. I mean, 8 queens are a lot. A 1-1 is done, and with granted, we're missing about 3. We're missing 3 Marines. What this would what the 2-1-1 would be, but at the very least, Byun knocks creep spread down a little bit, stimming forward, trying to find what he can. The Queen's pulled forward. It's only 4 of them though. We target fire down the high energy Queen. 1 will go down. Marine's starting to fall. Byun has won many games by just having good micro with a 2-1-1. I don't know that this is going to be the case, but he's starting to knock down a lot of these Queens. Second one falls. Marine lings continue to die. No Banelings on the way. Third one getting rather low. Byun getting another Queen here. Medevac still alive. Look at what Byun is doing. With a little bit, he's doing a lot. Now he will eventually be forced to pick up and go home. But folks, look at that. 4 Queens, 11 drones, 21 lings. I'd say that one was worthwhile. Byun now truly clawing his way back into this game. It's not going to be 2 base timing though. As much has been made about how powerful 2 base timings are against players like Raynor, I don't think you can do a 2 base timing off of a 2 rack. The timings do not work out well enough. The Zerg gets too far ahead. So, 3rd base on the way, 4th base as well. Byun has aggression on the map, and his 1-1 will be done before his opponents. So that means he will be able to trade maybe a little bit more cost effectively before Solar has his 4th hatch all the way up, before he adds that macro hatch. Very least group spread going down. Byun timing this out rather well. +1 is just about done. That's actually a scary tank position. How much range does it have? It's actually not incredible. There's certainly positions where the Banelings can move, but even still, with a single tank, Byun is shutting down a lot of position that Solar would like to have on the map. But what does Solar do when he is pressed in? He says, run by. But Byun, he's got a supply depot there. It will actually supply Byun already supply blocked, but losing the supply depot will oversupply him. So he's going to have to wait until that 4th base is done, until the extra supply depots are done, until he can build more stuff. Or just drop a top hat. Don't know where it is, but it looks like he dropped 1. Now the armory is done. 2-2 can get started in earnest as Byun on 6 racks for the moment. We're seeing a lot more play on the number of barracks a Terran makes. As of late, we've seen 7 racks pressure, 6 racks pressure. It used to be you go 5 racks, you go 8. But in this case, Byun is on 6. It's just a little bit more pressure. Well, he still gets himself set up for the 4th base, adding on that additional factory. And yeah, now Solar has 1-1. He's got the next level of his tech. He's able to properly produce, as he's no longer building drones. He's on 4 hatch. He's got his injects as they need to be. As he's actually gas short here. He wants to have 3 workers on that 1 gas in the main base. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I don't think it's going to be a game-deciding thing where Solar runs out of gas, but you never know. There's the Marines on the right side. Byun is just going to lose a bunch of Marines. Okay, well, it's a good scout. He says that there's a base on the right side that's worth scouting out. I don't know if it's worth 8 Marines, but hey, you know what? I'm not Byun. So scan on the map right now. Byun moving forward, but beaks around from Solar. So Byun's not going to be allowed to exist on the map for too long, but this pressure, the knocking down creep spread, the goal of it, as much as he would love to kill a base, it'd be incredible for him. It's positioning so he can get his planetary up on the 4th base so he can properly mine from there and make it a little bit harder for Solar to do much of anything. So Solar's going to find this base, but there's just not enough Ling Bane into the planetary. So that's not going to work out that well. Byun steps forward to target fire, but not going to get too many Banes. In fact, really not any Banelings at all. He's going to get 1. It just looks like the north side. Byun had a drop there, but holding the Zelnaga will get knocked down. And that's actually one of the really cool portions, really cool parts of this map. With the Zelnaga Tower, where it's only on one side. We're used to seeing maps that are symmetric on multiple axes. Well, Glundering Ashes really is only symmetric about one. Maybe the vertical axis too. No, it isn't. So really, it is only symmetric about that horizontal axis, and not even. So the one Zelnaga Tower, the Run Rich Gold base, it's kind of cool. But here comes the army of Solar, trying to break this fourth position down before Byun can properly set himself up for it. And Byun's army is not really here just yet. There's a tank somewhere. I think I saw shots, but I didn't actually really see the tank. Byun now moves forward. Bailey's trying to just get on top of things. Planetary. This is dead Planetary. The Bailey's make the connections that they're looking for. We're going to split from Byun to start, though. Planetary, SCVs have to be pulled away. Planetary is dead. The extra base is going to go down as well. And Solar, he's going to kill off 17 SCVs. It's a unidirectional attack, though, and that means he's not going to be able to get on top of the tanks and really go even further forward. Byun got a counter drop on the north side, but really is only 6 Marines. And while they do have 2-2, so too does Solar. A couple drones will fall, but Lings rotate back. So in the grand scheme of things, Byun gets 5 drones. He loses base and 22 SCVs. That is really not the trade you're looking for. That is really not the trade you're looking for. But maybe this drop on the north side is Byun flexing that multitasking that has killed so many Zergs in the past. But Solar's on top of this. Again, Solar, once he gets up to 5-6 bases, he really, he starts to constrict the game. We saw him do that to Gumiho. We're seeing him do it here. We saw him do it to, I think, Byun actually in, was it Gladiators Cup? I did catch a lot last weekend. But yeah, I think it was Byun. His EVTs. Going to Katowice, I had Solar as probably the 3rd best ZVT player in Korea behind Rogue and Dark. He's certainly getting back up there. He was on a bit of a slump for the majority of this year, but it's good to see him back. And I mean, we can't ignore the fact that this was a build from Byun where he went for 2 racks and was kind of shut down. But even still, he found some good value in the mid game. But I mean, Solar's just been constricting as the game goes. Like, that's a lot of tanks, and that is a lot of Marauders. The upgrades here for Solar are not done just yet, but he does have Vipers, so he's got to look to run in from the high ground. Blinding Cloud on top of everything. There we go. Blinding Cloud on top of all the tanks in the front. 3 tanks in the back, though. Still going to cause some problems. The Vipers continue to roll forward. There we go. Blinding Clouds on top of just about everything. All these tanks will go down. The bio is going to split as well as they can, but Solar, he doesn't even care. He's going to run forward. We're going to see this extra tank go down. So it's like, what was that? 7, 8 tanks going down in the blink of an eye. And Solar, if he brought his entire army forward, he can continue that fight. But the army on the right, it doesn't quite engage, even still. That was 9 tanks. 9 tanks just died. Meanwhile, Byun lost a little bit of his economy as well. 9 tanks represents a solid 2-3 minutes of tank production, even building 2 tanks at a time. That is going to be a while for Byun to be able to really set his defensive state once again. Time that Solar can drone up if he wants to. I mean, he's on 88. I don't think he needs that much more. Then he can set himself up here on the right side. We got a drop here from Byun, but Ling Bane is in position to defend that one. And Solar, everywhere he wants to be. I would like to see maybe the Hydras go and parasitic bomb these 2 Medivacs, really force it, or the Vipers just force him out of there. But Solar, he's got murder on the mind. He says, well, if you got about 20-30 supply on the north side, that means they're not on the south side. So Ling's Banes, they're going to come rolling on forward. Viper's not where they need to be just yet. Blinding Clouds, or that's just going to be abducts on top of these tanks, knocking them all down. 1 tank remains, and well, Ling's Banes are going to get on top of that one. Bailey's actually making connections on Marauders, but it really doesn't matter. Yeah, Byun is dead. GG. Solar, really leading for pole to pole, takes game 1. So no proxy this time from Byun. He says, I learned my lesson. We're not going to see a 12-minute series. So we're going to have to see. What does Byun have in store for us? Weird barracks positioning. Weird barracks positioning. This might tell that this is going to be a 2-1-1 again. But I don't know. This might just be to deny a scout, as Overlords get across the map rather quickly and maybe convincing Solar that there's a proxy. But realistically, by the... Okay, no, it will be a 2-1-1. Okay. This might be a 3 racks, actually. Let this barracks positioning like this, where it's hard to scout. Byun may drop a 3rd racks. That'd be kind of fun. move across the map with stim, maybe combat shields, and cause problems. But okay, this looks like, well, it's just going to be a 2 max. Okay, that makes more sense. As Solar is going to take the third base. Remember, in the last game, or in the Solar Gumiho series, we saw Gumiho, he put pressure on this base, he knocked it down, Solar kind of expanded away from him, and that bought him the time that he needed. So that third base, it does seem to be a bit vulnerable to these 2 base Terran pushes. I am surprised, though, and I guess just it's... These add-ons from Byun, I feel like they're rather early. It's just 2 barracks. I'm somewhat surprised to not see a factory on the way just yet. No starport. And okay, stim again. Solar got something in. I wish we knew what he was saying in Korean, but he's probably generally when we look at this, he's like, oh, mocking him for something. I say, oh, Byun, I know what you're up to. But again, it's just 3 Marines at a time. Combat shield or stim is going to be on the way, so there's the factory. But this is going to be a very quick stim. Next time I've sent 4 lings, Byun saying make it 6. Okay, so the scout didn't get in, and Solar was like, oh, okay, next time I need to send a little bit more to make sure I know what's up. Maddox is fantastic. We love him very much. Because, of course, he's providing us these translations in line. What a wonderful thing we have. So third base is going to be on the way at a pretty decent timing from Byun. This is a variant of a 2-1-1 that I don't think I've seen all that often. We're going to have to see what works out for him. Now starport is on the way. So this is going to be about a 6-minute-ish timing with the medevacs complete. Or you move out of the map at like 5:30 instead of 4:35. 4:30 to 5 minutes. But of course, you do get a third base just a little bit quicker. And Solar knows that something is a little different. All right, he doesn't see any Hellions on the field, so we're seeing him drone heavily, but also building a lot of queens. He's on 6 queens right now, going up to 8 pretty soon, and he would be building 9, but he wants to keep production free in his main base, so he can build that layer pretty quickly. But Byun moving out before his medevacs are ready. A bunch of Marines with stim, no combat shields, of course. But this may not be something that Solar is prepared for. He's only got 3 lings on the field. I mean, 8 queens. They make up for a lot. Solar, I think... Oh. Okay, now Solar certainly sees this now. Like, that's a lot of Marines. And lings are now going to get pumped. I feel like this from Byun is a bit of a mistake. If you don't want to commit to it, fine, okay. But don't show your Marines. Because now we see Solar, he's on 53 workers. He's on a wonderful worker count. And he just forced a lot. He told Solar, hey, I'm getting aggressive build lings. Build a Baneling nest. So now, Solar goes forward. Look at this. He's hiding the links. He says, Byun, be afraid. That's actually a lot more of a 2-1-1 than we're used to seeing at this timing. We're looking at 23 Marines, not just the 16 you might normally see. And there are 4 Banelings on the way, but they're not ready just yet. And of course, with Byun's vaunted target fire, who knows? Queen's now getting a little bit of damage, but they do go backwards. Not a lot of transfuse energy anymore. 1 queen will fall. The Banelings, 4 of them. Really, that's all that Solar, he says he needs. I don't know. He's got to build. He's building more. Okay, that's good. Layer is done. Now there's an armory on the way. 3 additional barracks. Byun, he has transitions behind this, and this feels like a weird double blind coming out of Byun. All right, but Byun now moving forward. Queen's getting taking a little bit of damage. Byun doing a good job of knocking this creep spread down. But what we're seeing here is he's just really not committing to this until he thinks that he can. Another queen will fall. He's trying to get on top of things. Byun got to pick up, and he will. A couple Marines will die on the backside, but Byun losing, what is it, 6 Marines, 7 Marines for a couple queens, a lot of creep spread. That's nice. And remember, his third base is on location. His 2-2 is halfway done. He's got a lead there. He is pretty comfortable in this mid-game. Byun getting a little bit more pressure, but Banelings and Lings are going to force this one back. Now, Baneling speed is not done, so target fire from Byun can be nice, but he lost about 8 Marines right there. So that is the end of this. Byun, he traded pretty well, but Banelings got connections at the end. And Byun moving to the 8 racks behind this. We saw him... No, I'm sorry, that was the Gumiho series. But he's going to put a lot of pressure on the map. Once again, I mean, that is what Waterfall allows. That is what Waterfall enables. But the lack of tanks. We have 3 on the map, but none in this push. Solar should be able to keep the space alive rather easily. Banelings roll forward. Yeah, that's going to be the end of that one. Into the main base, though, they will go. And that's where life gets a little complicated. There's a reason Zergs in general don't like to get triangular bases. It means the Terran can just kind of high ground, low ground them and make it life really just complicated. So this drop will get dealt with for the most part. A couple Marines fall, but really not all that big. But the timing that actually Solar in general Zergs have been using to kill Terrans with on this map is approaching. 1-1 just about done, but looks like Solar is not going to just try to smother Byun, break his third base as we often see. Instead, Infestation Pit is going to be on the way as he gets his 2-2 started. So Ultra's probably going to be on the menu with how quick this Infestation Pit is. And the drop of the main base once again. Byun sharking around, but what he's doing here with the drop of the main base, he's setting up the aggression on the left side. He says, ah, yeah, Solar, react to me. Meanwhile, oh, good. Solar, we saw it flashing on the minimap. Solar got a scout on the left side. So he should already be rotating over, but it looks like he's just going to give this base up. He's not really responding to it super quickly, but he's going now. As this drop's going to try to find its way into the third base. There is a Spore here, but it's not going to target the right medevac. Queen also not... Oh, Queen will do that. So great target fire right there. Byun, oh, he will get the base. Okay, yeah. Solar just gives that one up. He says, ah, tanks, Marines. I'm not where I want to be just yet. I'm not really mining from that base. I'm still on 4. It's kind of fine. Byun's not on 4. So we're okay there. So Solar playing the game that he is so well known for playing, or at least that I would argue he's so good at right now, where he plays the bend and do not break. The whole, I'm going to give you the first 80 yards of the field, but the last 20, you're not getting past there. I'm going to let you tire yourself out. And as long as Byun doesn't get his 4th base, I mean, Solar is very happy in this situation. Hive is halfway done. It's going to be for those Vipers. That's going to invalidate a lot of this tank capping. We're looking at 6 tanks. That's a lot. Looks like Solar maybe wants to take a fight before then. As that tank will go down. Tank's getting a couple, or the base will go down. Tank's getting a couple shots as the Marines do fall outside of this position, but Solar, I mean... He's actually only set up on 2 flanks. I would have expected to see a third if he really wanted to take this fight. He's kind of getting himself set up for it. And there we go, pulling the trigger. Get on top of the tanks on the bottom side. Bailey's actually get mad. Bailey's all go down on the tanks, but oh, Solar, he says, I have enough anyways. All the tanks are going to go down here. Byun running back into a corner, and he will be able to pick up. But despite Solar crashing, I want to say 10, 12 Banes into tanks, he will be able to make that hold happen. But on the right side, Byun, he's never doing any one thing at any given time. He's going to target this 4th base down, or the 5th base, excuse me. He gets a couple workers, but again, the big target is that hatch, and it will fall. A couple Marines will die on the backside, but again, Byun willing to make those trades. Even still, Solar, he is on 4 bases. Byun not on. He's only adding the 4th command center just now. And 2-2 just about complete. Adrenal Glands on the way. Ultra Cavern on the way as the Queen will fall. No creep there as well. So Byun, he's doing a great job of just really pulling Solar left, right, making it so hard for him to figure out exactly where he's going. But the tank count is not as powerful as it once was. Banelings, a couple of them will fall in the tanks here, but now Byun's going to be... Oh, good. Look at the target fire on the speed Banes, no less. So the tanks will die, but the Marines, they're fighting damn strong. But Lings, they're just going to avoid where the medevacs are. They say, yeah, we're going to knock down reinforcements on the right side beyond that drop from earlier. Kills another base. Actually, I think that was a kill, not even a cancel. 8 workers will go down. A lot of Queens die as well, as these are 2-2 Marines. They do not die easily. Flank's trying to find their way on the right side, but Solar's supply is really starting to plummet. 50 army supply to 81. And he just doesn't have his upgrades yet. More importantly, he doesn't have the money for those ultras he has invested into only on 4 bases, only on 8 gas, and with how many Baneleys he's had to make, he's got 1 ultra on the way. Which may be something, which may force Byun back. I don't know. But it feels like you want about 3 or 4. You don't want just a single one, especially before Chitinous is completing. And Chitinous is not close just yet. Another base gets denied. Solar's lost 4 hatches in this game. That's 1,200 minerals. And the lack... Oh, we do have Vipers out now, but Solar's just going to give this position up. He says, you know what, Byun, this is too hard for me to hold. But unlike previous games where he has another base to retreat to, or other times in this game where he had another base to retreat to, he doesn't really have that anymore. To drop the main base from Byun here. Queens are targeting the medevac down, so this drop will finally get dealt with as Banelings. Yeah, there we go. They clean up the rest of it. Well done there from Solar. But at what cost? That drop, his kill, has denied the right side base so many times. Byun now getting his 4th base 12 minutes in. So at the very least, Solar is going to be able to contend himself with that. He's going to see, okay, there's the 4th base on the way. trying to land. But you're only just getting that, which means Byun's main base is effectively mined out. Natural getting, it's only got 5 mineral patches, but some of these are yeah, running rather low. Third base. Actually, third base is not... I'm actually surprised at how much money the third base has 12 minutes in. Ling's now going to run for it. So many tank shots, though, and Solar just has to give that position up. He cancels this time. It's not a kill. At the very least, he has that one, but we need to see these Vipers actually used to their full effect. Even just Blinding Clouds on the bio is going to be rather nice. But, of course, getting on top of the tanks, that is their real value, as the Marines will fall. And Solar now, or Byun now, taking a pretty significant supply lead. Now, Marines run forward, and this is a ballsy spot for Solar to expand to. It's so close to Byun's 4th base, but it also means that if he's able to keep that alive, his Lings run forward, but 2 tanks here say no, no, no. If Solar's able to keep the bottom right alive, it's direct access to Byun's 4th base. But the Ultra count is starting to rise. We have 2. That third one, that 3 Ultra count that I mentioned, we're getting there pretty soon, is Ultra's getting on top of this. Blinding Cloud actually going to get a lot of the Marines. Well done there, Solar. The flank coming in. Bailings are, you got to run away from that one. So Ultra's, it does not die. Ultra's supremely tanky before enough Marauders and Ghosts get out. But okay, Solar is not able, he's not able to keep that base alive. I think it died, actually. Yeah, another hatch. 5th hatch has died this game. Let me look at resources lost. I mean, it's about 7k in a game where Solar's economy cannot really support that. He's trying to play like Caveman Zerg, but it's not really working out for him all that well. And now, because Byun has this 4th base, he can take his 5th base if he wants. He can start to advance on the map. He has a new economic lease on life. And it always feels so bad as a Zerg player if you're playing this low eco or this not super efficient style. This inefficient style, you say that's gonna be fine because I'm just gonna keep you on low base count. But once they take those bases, it just feels so bad. It's like, oh, well, this game's going another 5 minutes if I'm able to stay alive in it. Another base will fall. So Solar, I talked about this when we started the game. It's like, it's a map that's good for Zerg if they're able to end the game before we get to try to fight, like, 4 or 5 base play. But that is not really easy to happen. Now, Parasite Bombs on top of all things. Widow Mines will knock a Viper down, but Ultra's coming in from multiple sides. Banelings, though, they cannot get the connections that they're looking for just yet. Even so, I think this planetary... At least we're going to see all the workers go down. There's a Swarm Host on the way. Ultra's now starting to fall. Byun shredding everything, and yeah, the planetary loses a couple SCVs, but it stays alive. And that's all that really matters. By the way, folks, Swarm Host on the way. I don't think it's not going to do anything. It is so hard for Solar to get his to get up to 5-6 bases on this map. It's so spread apart, but it's also so, like, you have to defend the middle of the map because the rush distance is well, it's actually not that bad, but it's the dimensions, X by Z or X by Y, are the smallest map we've had in like 10 years. So it's just so hard for Solar to really defend the multi-prong aggression that's coming from Byun. His Lings are going to roll forward. Bailey's looking for connections, but the Widow Mines and the splits here from Byun are fantastic indeed. And Solar taps out. Folks, Byun looking extremely good. Much better in Game 2 than he did Game 1. That means he's going to tie the series up 1 apiece. So that 2-1-1 actually got a decent amount of damage done. Killed a lot of Lings for Solar, and then Byun, with the extra Marines, was just able to stick around, start putting more pressure on, dance around, and eventually we saw how that map can be bad for Zerg, where you just can't get a 4th base, and then you can't get a 5th, and the drop pressure is really strong, and it plays into how Byun wants to play. A player like Cure, for example, who wants to just muscle through, not really. Byun, with his incredible multitasking, I mean, he just ripped Solar apart. They took it's like the trick where it's anyone can rip a phone book apart, but you have to know how to do it. But if you try to do it just by brute strength, it's gonna be impossible. But if you work the seam, I think, and you open a crack and then suddenly it rips apart pretty easily. Again, 2-1 coming out from Byun in this time. This one's going to be a little bit more standard. We're not going to see the double add-ons at the same time, delayed factory instead. It's going to be a reactor opening. And part of this may be because Data C is a bigger map. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because actually, by getting double add-ons, you really don't have production earlier. But really, these two base, this 2.5 base, 3 base aggression, it's interesting seeing it happen now, because for a while the prevailing narrative was, well, Terrans just cannot get anything done against Zerg in the mid game. So we just got to go late. Is the crab running away from the Ling? There we go. Marines are going to pop out here. 4 Marines early should tell, at least tell Solar that this is a reactor opening, as they're going to go hunting for Overlords. But because that Ling is scattered out, I don't think this is going to get much done. Overlords will be able to find them some cliffs. They're going to go all the way on the other side, but there are enough Lings out right now in Queens. So it actually does 14 Lings on the... This is a lot of Lings. Oh, you know what? So game 2, Solar said, I'd like look, next time I'm going to make 4 Lings, and Byun said make it 6. Well, I think Solar's realized that Byun does not like to build walls in his net. Like, he doesn't really shore up his walls super early. With these Marines on the map, there is not a lot to defend here, so Solar's going to flood Lings across the map with really no wall. The couple Marines are going to get surrounded immediately. No Hellions are ever going to be made in this game, so the natural will be forced up, and oh, the Lings get on top, and you just want to sit on top of the supply depot here. That's your goal, Byun. Wait for the rest of the Lings to show up, and there they will. So now Byun microing backwards. Marines, they got to stay alive. 3 SCVs will go down, make it 4. The main base is now closed up, but the natural, the supply depot will get knocked down, and this could have been worse for Byun. It really could have, but the most important thing from Solar, he sees what the scout is, he gets a couple SCVs, he delayed, actually doesn't supply block Byun, but he does get a couple more SCVs and make it probably 6 in total. And the Lings will get out. I'm actually not sure that this was worth it for Solar. If we look at it, it's 24 Lings, so call it 12 drones for 6 SCVs and 9 Marines. Maybe. It does slow down the 2-on-1 a lot. It does slow down that move out, which Solar may consider worthwhile. But remember, last time the 2-on-1, that Solar did hold, by the way. He didn't, he took damage after the fact. That was the problem. Last 2-on-1, he was on 53 drones at the 5-minute mark. Now he's on 48. He did, again, his economy does hurt a little bit, but we're just going to have to see what's going to be worthwhile. Is the Medivacs now joining the fray? Hellions as well. Is Byun at an armory? I keep talking about it. I've seen Byun do it before. We're gonna have to see. So Bailey Nest is on the way. All right. Normally I don't. Normally if we're casting the finals, and I try not to talk to chat because it's going to YouTube too. But Scarlet, thank you so much for the raid. Hope your stream was fantastic. I'm sorry you didn't. I'm sorry you didn't go further than Solar, but it was a good time. Yes. Also, good reminder. If I'm trying to get partner, I'm getting pretty close to it, folks. If you go and do me a favor, either click on my name at the bottom on Twitch or remove the referral equals raid tag in the URL and refresh or press enter. It really does help me out a lot because raid viewers don't count to things and actual viewers, they do. So welcome everyone from Scarlet Stream. We are in game 3 here. Byun won with relentless aggression in game 2. In game 1, Solar, he held a 2 racks and he absolutely dominated the map from pole to pole. But here comes Byun's aggression once again. Helly's actually getting some good shots on the Banelings. 4 will get canceled, but still more are on the way. And of course, no Baneling speed is going to be here for a while. We're going to have to see how good Byun's target fire will be. He's had some great target fire thus far, but for now, it looks like he's going to back up for a moment. And there actually is the armory. So we may see actually see Hellbats get added in this build that I've been talking about. Queens run forward though. Creep gets replaced. Where's the Liberator go? There's one of them. A second one is on the way. Solar, his entire attention is focused on the front of the map. So maybe that's going to be something where Byun finds some value. And there we go. Okay. Now the armory is done. 2 Marines in Medivacs, or excuse me, 16 Marines in Medivacs moving into the main base. Is a Hellbat Marine timing at the front. Is Solar going to be able to defend everything? He's got a lot of Banes at the front. I don't think these Hellbats are going to be able to get all that much done. But maybe as he forces his opponent back into the main, maybe that's going to be the opening here. Lings, though, there are plenty of them. Solar reading this aggression from Byun extremely well. But, oh, look at this. Solar, he knows what he needs to do. He's rotating the army back onto the right side, back into the third base as the Hellbats, they try to split desperately, but the Banelings are going to knock them all down. So Byun has to run away. This gets nothing done. This absolutely gets nothing done. But in the main base, again, it's a triangular base position. This is something where Byun can maybe find a little bit. As the Liberator gets a couple workers, sieges up here. Queen will fall. Okay, well, actually transfused, but beyond targeting workers down, he gets 3. I feel like getting the Queen is maybe worth just a little bit more. But okay, now moving forward, Bailey's knocking Byun off creep, and this is not going to work out. Byun actually takes a big shot, but he picks up most of everything. Hello, Tasteless. Looking forward to GSL on Monday. Okay. Double eBay on the way. That is, of course, the thing that Byun has sacrificed by going for this style. Your upgrades do get delayed. You can either drop 1 eBay and go +1 and delay your +1 armor pretty long, or you can just do what Byun is doing right now. Take that 3rd base, but really delay your 1-1. And actually, Solar, he's gonna have his 1-1 done before Byun starts his. So there is a significant timing on the map right now. We're gonna time that out. So there's this timing now that Solar has with Hydras, with Lings, with Banes, with Baneling speed, with his 1-1 upgrades that Byun does not have, where Byun cannot fight. Where Byun can just not do much of anything in the game right now. He just has to sit back at home. He has to turtle up. But luckily for him, this is Data C. This is a map that goes tremendously, tremendously, tremendously late. Over and over and over again. So as much as I say, well, okay, the mid game, it's absolutely Solar dominant. There are things that he can do. I would not be surprised to see this game go late regardless. As Byun, he's got a couple tanks hidden in those medevacs, looking to maybe make this push happen just a little bit better. But he also understands, again, his upgrades aren't there. In fact, he's forgotten +2. He's pulled a Byun again. So Solar's going to have his 2-2, and Byun's going to have +1 attack. It's going to be a 3 upgrade lead. Hive is halfway done. Byun is going to really... Byun needs to take this game super late. He actually, I don't think he forgot he had an armory. So he's building a 2nd one right now, and he understands this game has to go incredibly, incredibly late. 2 command centers additional on the way. He's going to siege up his tanks around the space, but the world is, I know I say this a lot, but it is very much true here. The world is Solar's oyster in a way that it rarely, rarely is. So... drop again coming in from Byun on the high ground, but most of this gets is an Overlord. Maybe he gets a Queen. The Lings are going to rotate over, and again, 1-1 versus 0-0. A good target fire on the medevac as well. That will fall. And Byun trying to find value at the Zalnaga. Again, Solar does not allow this to happen. And the question now is whether Solar's going to try to... It's only 5 tanks. If Solar knew this, and he maybe has some Vipers, as Byun now 2-2 is on the way, or his armor is on the way, I feel like we need to see Solar go here. I mean, he has so many advantages. He's up 30 army supply. He's up 2 upgrades. He's gonna be up 3 upgrades rather soon. He needs Vipers though, so maybe that's gonna be what he's waiting for. Maybe the Vipers to just be able to make sure these tanks don't get any shots up. But Solar is so rich at this point that you can kind of afford to just come crashing in. Byun trying to take the 4th base on the bottom side. Maybe that's gonna be an opening. Now, of course, we have to also point out, because of the aggression that Byun had earlier, Solar's creep spread is a little lacking. It's only at the middle of the map, right through the middle. It's not on the wings, not yet. So that is something that Solar may look to... he's lacking a little bit, but... Wait. Byun's adding a 3rd armory. After he's got 1-1 mech on the way, and he's adding a 3rd... Byun's not getting air. He's not going 1-1-1. He's not getting air attack on top of this as well. I can't imagine Byun actually. Okay, forced to cancel on this base. Nice job. Some modicum of damage. I'll keep my eye on this production tab because Byun has 3 armories. What the hell, Byun? It's not part of a wall or something either. I can't imagine this is for all 3 mech upgrades. But anyway, now the army moves forward, and is it me? Am I lagging? Oh no! And there we go. Now Solar, though, he doesn't want to take the fight on the unpause. He's gonna back up just a little bit. Ooh, Nidus on the way. Lurker did as well. I feel like at this point, when ghosts are already on the field, I don't know that Solar knows that just yet, but with ghosts on the field, it feels like lurkers are kind of a trap, and now we have the Vipers going in. Blinding Cloud on the first line of tanks. Abducts there on the Liberators. The Solar comes crashing right on through. Finally, we see the break that he's been looking for, but it's only a 2 upgrade lead. It's not 3, not as bad. Only 4 workers will go down. Some tanks have died, sure, but Solar, he kind of, he gives up on the caveman. He goes, he tries to lay his club down. He says, Termite's got this one. Shakes up and falls apart. He's got to go build another one. Really, Solar. He's taking the entire map, and even more importantly, is that base will get canceled. We need to see him start to take bases from Byun. So the bottom right base, he's got that one on the way. He's got to take the one even closer. Bailey's come crashing forward. Command center will fall in production. And there we go. The distraction. Nidus in the main base. Byun not really reacting to this just yet. Maybe going to rely on the rally. But okay, there we go. He's got double medevacs full. He will be able to knock this one down fairly easily. But that's just something that he's going to have to be worried about as this game goes go on. But we got to remember, despite Solar really having everything he could possibly want, although his, well, actually, no, we're fine. Having everything he could possibly want, his bank is not big just yet. He's only on 89 workers. Byun's on 90. And we look at resources lost. I mean, it's not terrible, but Solar, he's spending the majority of his money right now. He's not really building the bank just yet, which can be a problem if you do want to play that caveman style. You want to be going up to just massive amounts of money. But here we go, coming in from multiple angles. Snipes down on the Vipers, but one still remain. Bailey's come rolling on forward. Snipes just on top of anything that Byun can find. SCV's going to get pulled away. Bailey's still on top of the ghost there. An abduct on the Liberator, but the second level of Byun's defense looks like it kind of holds. Most of the ghosts still stay alive, and Byun again's got to run back. But yeah, he says, no. I've been broke too damn long. Not going to work out. Solar, he takes a 2-1 lead, and that means he's on tournament point. And it's funny, before Cyril got his hands on some Moondance games in the Theater of Dreams and in Gladiators Cup, this was a 60-40 map. If you went on Wikipedia before, like this last weekend, in major tournaments and premier tournaments, Zergs were losing 60% of their games on. It's a significantly Terran favored map. Now, of course, Cyril won a bunch of games that he probably should not have won. But we're going to have to see what Byun goes for. I got to imagine this is going to be a 2-base. Well, not even. Moondance is interesting because on the one hand, it is the shortest rush distance in the pool. About 31 seconds natural to natural by the worker move. Which is 2 seconds. Actually, it's 2 seconds shorter than even Waterfall. But it's also super campy. You almost get 5 bases for free. Although, in fairness, the pocket base is it's 2/3 of a base. You only 6 mineral patches, only 1 gas. But in general, go away, Nat. In general, it's a base that you can just turtle your way the hell out. And then you get to that late game Terran composition that is so hard for Zergs to deal with. So it looks like for now, Byun's doing something a little bit more stately, a little bit more measured, a little bit more middle of the road. No, he's got 1-1-1 on the way. We might see a 3rd base. Might not sure. I mean, we will see a 3rd base eventually, I think. But whether this is a barracks factory into command center type of build, or whether this is going to be more Hellion Banshee slightly delayed 3rd base, we've yet to see. There, okay. It's going to be your standard Hellion something coming out of Byun in this game with everything on the line. I kind of expected to see heavy aggression from him. In all honesty, I've just given the pushing positions you can set up on Moondance and how quick it is. And to be totally honest, I think I gotta give it to Solar if the game goes later, even as campy as this map is. I mean, I would not like to be up for another hour, but if Solar gives us another maestro game like he has in this series, I mean, I can't find myself complaining too hard. It's the StarCraft fan in me wants this to go to game 5. The human in me wants to go to bed. Ooh, Hellion drops. Okay, really, that's a shakeup. So we got medevac on the way. Hellions getting made here. So this is different. Even out of a 1-1-1 opener, this is not something that we see really too often against Zergs. Against Protoss, maybe a little bit more often. Oh, okay, never mind. I said Hellion drops. I think we are still going to see that. but it's going to be Hellion drops into Hellbat play, or maybe not. Hellbat's just going forward, so it's going to be Marine Hellbat with everything on the table, with everything on the line. Byun gambling a little bit here on some aggression. So Ling's going to sneak forward. It's going to see, okay, there are Hellions. That's something. Tells them, it tells them kind of what the opportunities are. More Hellions are on the way. Medevac runs forward. Queens, do they see that? I don't think so. No, he's going to see the Medevac now, and that's going to be a tell. Lings are now on the way. McQueen's got to get brought to the front. How many do we have? It's 6. Maybe you want a little more, but it is only 6. 7th one is on the way as the Queens have to kite backwards. Not a lot of energy on them as we see the Lings. They're running across. They say, we're not really useful all that here. Maybe we can shut down some reinforcements as we do see the Spore move forward. Drones are going to get pulled away. And Queens, they just got to target down the Medevacs, but they're all kinds of clumped up. That being said, there are 3 layers of them. So the Hellbat's really not getting the damage they want just yet. One Hellback is going to go down. That's the start of the hold. Lings in the natural of Byun. They will be dealt with. But still, Queen's doing a great job. 1 Queen will fall. Medevac is getting targeted down now. So there we go. 4 Queens, 5 Queens, all of that remain. Now Lings are going to start to move forward. Only 2 drones have died. Solar, he just handles this with tremendous ease. He says, yeah, there's a reason that this is a bit of a cable here, Byun, because it does not look good for you. Now, Hellions have been made, and a bit of an interesting wall there with the choke with the Hellion. But Banshees have been made. That does force Byun, Solar back a little bit, but I'm not sure that he cares. He killed 6 Hellbats. He killed 3 more Hellions. He killed a Medevac, 6 Marines, and he only lost 3 Queens for it. It is... Solar is miles ahead in this game. He's got his lair on the way. He's got Bailey Nest, gases. He's droning up. He's at 30 supply. Byun is going to have to find an avenue back in this game. Now, part of it, he can take a free third. That helps. That absolutely helps quite a lot. But he needs more than that. He needs to find damage on the other side. Maybe Hellions diving into the natural wind. Oh, Solar. He has got... His hands are so damn quick. He got the Evo Chamber block. The Hellions are going to look to try to abuse that one. Make it hard for the Lings to engage onto them. But a good job there. We will start to see some of the Hellions go down. And there's the cancel. This Solar... You're sexy. That is sexy play from the man. And behind this, what does Solar do? He says, I have all the time in the world. I have all the room in the world. What do? I drop a Spire. Spire, fantastic, incredible on this map. In fact, if you saw the Gladiators Cup in the round of 16, I think it was, Cyril played Cure. And Cyril lost about 30 workers, 25, I think, workers to a Hellbat Marauder. Not the timing itself. Cyril went across the map with a bunch of roaches. Marauders held that. Then it was Marauder drops and Hellbat drops, and it killed just ludicrous amounts. Then Cyril said, I'm going to go Mutas. I'm going to rip you apart. Now, I'm not saying that Solar is Cyril. I think Cyril is a little bit better. But also Solar is in a much better position in this game as the Banshees run forward. But Queens are here, and the Banshees are going to get rather low. And even without Cloak, he's got to run away. We see Solar banking minerals, banking gas. Here's going to be about 8 Mutas to start. And Byun's timing. Ideally, as the Terran, you're looking to hit right as the Muta timing starts. That is not really going to be feasible in this game. Banshee's going to get, actually not a single drone. But the Spire is just about done. 1-1 on the way for Solar as well. So he's not going to be that, I mean, he's going to be behind the upgrades at Byun, but not too badly. And the Banshee, I mean, looking for something. There are Spores and there are Queens really everywhere that this Banshee wants to go. So it's not going to get all that much. 7 Mutas are on the way. Now Bailey's morphing in as well, because Solar knows that there is going to be a push coming in soon enough. And by the way, Solar's done a great job of extending this creep spread beyond where his base is. So Byun is going to have to scan out. He's going to have to move forward. He's going to have to delay this push. This just buys Solar the time to maybe get his upgrades a little bit longer. Ideally, he gets his 1-1 done before he takes the fight in earnest. It just slows the push down from Byun. Meanwhile, of course, the Mutas on the other side of the map. But Marines are here. Solar, you got to be careful. 1 Muta will fall. Make it 2. Make it 3. Make it 4. Make it 5. No, make it 4. But even still, that is, what, 50%-ish? 56%? I don't know what 4/7 is. That's a significant component of Solar's Muta composition down. That's 400 minerals, 400 gas in the drain. Absolutely fantastic for Byun at this point. It just means he's lost so much, or Solar's lost so much of his pressure on the map. But he's got more Mutas on the way, feeling very comfortable with his Ling count, with his Bane count, and his 1-1 is not that far away now. Lings do not want to take this fight. But look at what Solar is doing. Byun is moving through the middle of the map. This is really the spot that Solar wants to take the fight. As more mutas will fall. Mutas have found no value as a queen will die, but they've lost. 5 of them have died. It makes this hold from Solar. I mean, Solar's still in a great spot, don't get me wrong, but it makes this hold just a little bit harder. So now the tanks are going to run forward, and 4 of them sieged up there. That is a scary position to attack into. But the 1-1 is now done. Ooh, actually, mutas can find a spot. This tank is dead. Marines cannot rotate where they need to. That position that shoves the tanks in there also means the tanks or the Marines don't really have a range, but here we go. Coming in from multiple sides. A little bit disjointed, though, from Solar. Mutas get on top of the tanks. 1 will fall, make it 2, make it all of them, really. But the Banelings, they're all getting targeted down here. Byun with the Marines. Oh, Marines are good units. We only have 1 Baneling on the field, or I guess 5 Banelings on the field right now. Again, the re-engage. Mutas trying to get on top of things. And this one will be much better for Solar. It looked scary. It looked damn scary for Solar, but he did it for the fans. He said, I want you to have a good time. I want you to be on the edge of your seat, heart in your mouth. So I'm going to make it look scary, and then I'm going to go close it out anyways. As now there's only 1 tank here. Lings are going to go forward trying to get on top. There are just too many Marines at the moment. And now Byun, his 2-2 is going to be done. It's going to be another big timing window. Last couple of Banelings will get denied. As mutas, please, they're not going to snap the meta back down. But again, Solar, of course, he's on 85 workers. He can afford a lot of losses and still be in a wonderful spot. Now, double resources lost is a... he's lost a lot of mutas. 10 mutas have died to really... It helps knocking down the tanks, but that is just about it. But now the mutas, they feel unlocked. They feel they can be on the map. They're going to knock down some of these Marines as they rally across. But again, no economic damage. But even still, so many Marines are going down. This is actually a great move here from Solar. Not a single muta has died, and it's unlocked the run by. There we go. That's what Solar's been looking for quite a while, and now he is going to be able to find it. This tank's going to go down. We're going to see a bunch of SCVs fall as well. So Byun says, okay, this is my time. I got to make something happen here. Good target fire there on the Banes with the tanks, and Solar's just going to give this position up. We see him do this with such regularity and with such, he just got so much game sense. He understands that he does not need to keep this pace up. He's still on 4. He still has plenty of hatcheries. So as long as he gets commensurate damage, and he has 40 SCVs that have died, the Ling is ravaging every single base, every single thing that Byun holds dear. Solar just has to buy time. Good Baneling connections, it looks like, on the other side. Again, Byun's got a lot of Marines. Fine. 16 more Banes on the way, 16 more Zerglings on the way. Solar doubling the supply of Byun at this point, and finally it's been dealt with. Byun only has 13 SCVs. I don't know how he's supposed to do anything. This push has to win the game, and I don't know that it ever will. Banelings again roll forward. Again, Marines will fall. Mutas knocking down as many of the healers, as many of the medevacs as they can. And there we have it, folks. Solar with 1 big run by on Moondance. He's the one that's going to be moondancing to a victory in ESL Open Cup number 138, the Korean edition